Hi everybody, welcome to Thursday Threads at Flying Goat Farm. I'm Lisa Check. I'm the owner of Flying Goat Farm. I'm a fiber farmer and an indie dyer. This is behind me is my fabulous wall of yarn. I did want to say while I'm starting here is that we are open by appointment. You can wear your mask, we can social distance, and you can come shopping if you're local. If you're not local, we can work out a Facebook call, a FaceTime call, and we can do some virtual shopping. So if you see anything today that you think is fantastic, then we can work out a FaceTime call, or you can come by appointment. So today I'm going to be talking about sweaters. I know it's 97 degrees out. It's really warm and kind of humid here in Maryland. And so why the heck am I talking about sweaters? Because they take a while to knit. And so usually the thing about this time would be, well, what are you making for your Rhinebeck sweater? Well, there's no Rhinebeck this year. So I'm promoting the new hashtag No-Rhinebeck-sweater. We still want to make something nice. We still want to make something for the fall, and it can still be a sweater, but you may not be wearing it to a live Rhinebeck the festival, but you could still wear it for the virtual one. It will be in October. The weather will be nice, and you'll be happy that you started a sweater right now. So I was going to show you, I was going to go through my sweaters through the years. And I'm going to move this over so that I can reach it a little bit better. This is my very first ever sweater. It's a piece fleece pattern. And I love this because of the way that the yarn really kind of made argyle patterns. Look at that. Isn't that cool? This is mohair yarn from my goats that I dyed. Like I said, it was my first ever sweater. I had a sweater mentor, and if you feel like you need a sweater mentor, then reach out to me. I will be glad to help. This one is really easy. I'm going to show you a close-up because I didn't realize that I wasn't purling right. I'm self-taught, but can you see that? Every one of those stitches is twisted. So when I was doing my purl rows, I twisted every single one. So it's interesting. It has an interesting stitch pattern now, right? And I just love the pattern that the yarn made. Isn't it beautiful? This one, because it's mohair, it is itchy. This one, I have to wear something underneath it. But it's nice and warm, and I love it. Very first one. Then I started getting more adventurous. This one is like the incredible top-down lace cardigan. And this was an Etsy class, which is now Blueprint, which apparently is also going away. But so it was top-down. You could try it on as you went to make sure that it was the correct size and everything. This is a Cormo mohair blend that I dyed, again, from our fleeces. And again, it's really interesting. Even in the parts that are stockinette, you get really nice patterning because they're hand dyed. This was super easy. In the pattern, you could make the sleeves short like this, or you could make them long. You could choose whatever kind of lace pattern you want. This is simply feather and fan. This is a worsted weight yarn. Now what we have is something close to this would be Fingal, which is a BFL yarn has similar yarn characteristics, similar ply and that kind of thing. So then I was like, craftsy is the way to go, right? So here's my third sweater. I'll close up on it. So this is a Carol Feller design called Celtic Cables. So you have cables all along here and bobbles, and you had to read a chart, and I had never read a chart before. So in essence, I had to start over about 5 times. Again, I reached out to a person that I knew that she was excellent at reading charts. And I said, what am I doing wrong? And basically, you know, I was just going back. I was going along row 1. And then instead of going row 2 this way, I went this way again. It just wasn't lining up. So anyway, I did learn how to read charts. Now I love charts. And I think, and this also, I had taken it out about 5 times, like I said before, and I was really sick of the color. It was kind of like an avocado green. And so I decided that, you know, when I started the next time, I over-dyed everything in like a peacock, and that's how I got this really pretty kind of tealy green color. And I found the perfect buttons in my button box. Don't ever throw away buttons. So these are all different buttons. They're all the same size. They were all like on the same card. So they all relate, but every one is different. It's just like really pretty. So this one, I think you might be able to find this on Ravelry. Again, it's called Celtic Cables by Carol Feller. Or look up her name, Carol Feller, F-E-L-L-E-R, and see what other patterns she has. It was a really easy thing to knit. This one is knit from the bottom up, and then you add your sleeves in at the underarm. I started out with my sleeves, and I did them the same as my 2 at a time socks. That if you guys, some of you I know are enrolled in my 2 at a time sock class, but I did these sleeves that same way. So I knew that they were the same size, they were the same length, and then they were ready to go when I knit all of this up, and then I could just attach them. It's a really easy way to do that. All right, that was number 3. Number 4 was this one. This is made with blue heron yarn, so it's not my yarn. Let's see, it goes this way. So it's a tank top. It's cotton and rayon, and it's cropped. And I realized when I finished it that it was cropped too short. So then what I did was, and of course I didn't have any yarn, right? That always comes up. So what I did was I found a yarn that was close, again, a blue heron, and I added a feather and fan at the bottom. It matches, it's cute. Now it works better. So this one is really fun to wear. I wear this a lot at shows when it's warm outside. Number 5, I just did this last year. And this is called Ursa. I'll back up a little bit. So this is done with bulky yarn. So this is my cacao yarn that I replied to make it a 3-ply instead of a single. And I have to tell you, okay, this is goes bottom up, very easy to do. This was supposed to be brioche down here, half brioche. I couldn't figure out half brioche. So I looked at the pattern and I said, well, you know what? It really looks like it's just ribbing. So that's what I did. I cheated. It's just ribbing. Here's the back of the sweater. Again, this is 100% mohair. This is gonna be my barn sweater. It probably weighs, I want to say about 5 pounds, maybe 7 pounds. It's really heavy, and it will have to have a sweater underneath. It's really pretty itchy. It was fun to make. It was quick because it was bulky, and it's called Ursa. All right. Shawls I haven't made, but have been made for me. This one is called, I don't know how to pronounce this. Oh, and it's going to be backwards. Does it go? There it goes. Corstofine. I think that has to do with foxes. So this is a sweater that was done in the round with steeks. And if you can see here, these little red, see how they're foxes? Isn't that cute? This one was made for me by a friend. So this is mohair. This is my cacao mohair, so this is the natural color. This is also some lively here that was dyed, and some Puck and Friends is in here too, in this kind of this charcoaly gray here. So this is really, really cute. I love the buttons on here. And oh, look at the detail on the hem and the sleeves. So this is a darling, darling sweater. All right, moving on. So this is from our yarn, Alto. This is Land of Silver Birches. So this yarn is really, has a great drape to it. Basically it's 50-50 BFL superwash wool and silk. And I love, you've got great details on the sleeve and on the seam line here. And I got these buttons from the Dusty's Vintage Buttons. And they're abalone buttons. Aren't they cute? And last but not least, this is called Catoctin. And this is made with our lively yarn. So this is a worsted weight yarn. This is also designed by Corrine Walcher, the same as the Land of Silver Birch. Again, there's lace on the sleeves. There's lace in under the bodice here. And what I love about her patterns too is I think because there's so much lace in these, that this doesn't take a huge amount of yarn. It's not a huge investment. So this one is really pretty. So this one and the Land of Silver Birches, both of them, these yarns are next to the Skin Soft. So I have worn these with just a t-shirt underneath or even just a tank top, and they have been fine for me. I wanted to show you some of the yarns too and talk about my next one. So Lively, here's, it's not going to read through this way. So Lively, sorry, it's backwards. These are $30 a skein. These are from our Cormo sheep. It's worsted weight, and it's oh so squishy. Comes in fun colors, a lot of neutrals too, so that will go with everything. Tresna, these are 27, and they are kind of a light DK. This is also from our fleeces, farm yarn. This one is, so these sheep are a cross between Cormo and BFLs. And so this has a little bit more sheen to it from the BFL. The Lively is a little bit more of a matte finish. This is the Alto, what Land of Silver Birches was made out of. And you can just see how much sheen that has. Lots of people are making sweaters with this. And those are 32 a skein. And then we have this Synergy. So there are a lot of sweaters out there. I've been looking for a new sweater to make, which I'm going to show you what I've decided. But there's a lot of them that are sport weight. So lots of these that I have, they're kind of like a light worsted weight. This one is a sport weight, and this would make a really fun sweater. Any of these Synergies, they're $27 a skein, and they kind of self-stripe within your sweater. I know Corrine Walcher is making me like a shawl collared sweater out of the blue, the lapis, and you can use very simple stitches. You don't have to do anything fancy. The yarn will do it for you because it makes a really kind of neat changes of color. So what my No-Rhinebeck sweater is going to be is going to be made out of hand spun. This is, so those Cormo Blue-Faced Leicester crosses. This is 2 of their lamb fleeces that I hand spun. And I just figured out I was going to make it this color. I finished spinning this last year during Tour de Fleece, and it's been hanging around all year because I didn't know what color I wanted to make it. It was such like a huge decision, but I knew what I wanted to make. I want to make a yoked sweater. I want it to be a cardigan because I don't really like pullovers. I don't like feeling, constricted. And I wanted to do a steek. So I'm going to this is going to be the body of the sweater. The pattern that I'm picking, I think, is called Bauhaus Boho. And so it uses 2 different colors that are similar. Like it's in the pattern, it's like a cream and a beige. So they're similar. So this is what I'm going to use. And these 2 are also hand spun. This is what's going to be the color work at the yoke. And although the sweater doesn't have color work on the cuffs, I think I might do it anyway. I'll have to figure out if the pattern that she's used, if the color work pattern will work with that amount of stitches that's on the sleeve. So No-Rhinebeck-sweater, you got to make one. It's time to get started. And if you say, well, I don't want to be, knitting something that is, hot, it's sitting on my lap, and, it's summertime, start with the sleeves. One of my, pro tips is if you start with the sleeves, that can also be your swatch, because you can just start making them. And if you're saying, oh, wait, that is way too big or that's way too small, right away, oh, I've got to change my needle size. So start with the sleeves. They're smaller, they're easier to carry around, and they can be your swatch. And if you're interested, we can, I have this 2 at a time sock class, but it can just as easily be a 2 at a time sleeve class. So if you're interested, shoot me an email about that, and I can get you enrolled in that class. So I hope that you have a great Thursday. I hope that I've gotten you to start thinking about your hashtag. I know I'm not supposed to do that because it's an old lady thing. Hashtag No-Rhinebeck-sweater, and let's see what we can make. Until next week, happy making.